Alright folks, welcome back. Today we need to have a serious talk about memory. And I don't mean the fond memories of when PC building was actually affordable. I mean DRAM, specifically the absolute undeniable scam that is the current pricing of DDR5 SODI modules. This isn't just inflation, this isn't just supply and demand, this is a masterclass in market manipulation, and frankly I'm tired of pretending it is not. So buckle up, because we are diving into the absurdity of the RAM industry. Let's start with this little thought experiment. Right now, you can buy a decent mid-range smartphone, and it comes with a screen, a battery, a camera system, an SoC, a modem, 128 GB of flash storage, and crucially 8 GB of LPDDR5 running at 6,400 mega transfers per second. The whole phone costs, guess what? We have it in front of our own eyes, $169. Okay. Now, go online and try to buy a single 8 GB DDR5 SODI module running at a slower 5,600 mega transfers. You're looking at prices that have skyrocketed. Sometime in the early 2026, the price, actually 2025, December 2025, and January 2026, the price for a 32 GB DDR5 kit spiked to over $400. That single slower, less integrated stick of RAM is somehow justifying a massive chunk of the price tag. It is absurd. If the price hike in DRAM was genuinely due to unavoidable manufacturing costs, that $169 smartphone will cost $500 today. It does not. We are being taken for a ride on the standalone modules. And while we're talking about being taken for a ride, let's talk about the marketing. But first, check this out. The RAM modules. SODIMM 8 GB DDR5. Two pieces, $251. A single piece, $134. That's more or less the price of the entire freaking smartphone. Nevertheless, this one grinds my gears daily. You go to buy this stupid overpriced RAM and the listing says 600-400 MHz. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? Stop it already. It is not 600-400 MHz, 4,800 MHz, 5,600 MHz as we see here. 4,800 here. 4,800. It's not megahertz. It is not megahertz. It is mega transfers per second. DDR stands for double data rate. The actual clock speed, the megahertz, is one half of the mega transfers. So basically, that 6,400 MHz RAM is actually running at 3,200 MHz. Swapping those terms loosely isn't a typo, it's false advertising. It is borderline criminal to deliberately mislead consumers into thinking they are getting double the frequency they actually are. It's like selling a car and claiming the RPM is the top speed. It is freaking nonsense. Here's where the price gouging becomes undeniable. The memory inside the smartphone is LPDDR5X, as we can see here. In a nutshell, these are high-density, highly efficient premium chips, and yet device manufacturers are getting them at a bargain. Meanwhile, your standard SODIMM module is made of 4 or 8 individual lower capacity and often lower binned DDR chips slapped onto a PCB. Check this out. Where are they? Here. Check this out. This module here has 8 individual chips. 8. Each 8 GB. And the price, of course, look, absurd. Still absurd. These chips are cheaper. In this case, this one is a specific RAM module, but anyway. By all metrics of manufacturing, complexity and material costs, the SODIMM should be cheaper. But because you, the PC consumer, as actually, needed to upgrade your system, they charge an absurd premium. They are milking the enthusiasts and professionals and an upgrade market because they know we have no other choice if we want to expand our memory. It is strategic, targeted price gouging, plain and simple. One proof of how cheap this silicon actually is: go on eBay or AliExpress. Let's check this out. And theoretically, basically, what I want to say is that boards that have that high density 8GB LPDDR5X RAM plus NAND flash plus other components can be found for like $15. $15 used, working. Think about that. If you had the skills, you could buy 4 of those boards for $60. These are the LPDDR5X chips and theoretically build a 32GB memory module. Yes, I know the controls are different, but work with me on the raw material cost here. $60 for the raw silicon. Yet, if you want to buy a 32GB DDR5 SODIMM module today, you're paying well over $150, sometimes $300, sometimes $400, depending on the speed and the vendor. The raw materials are practically free in the secondary market, but the finished product is priced like gold. So, what do we do? First, hear me on this one. We need to stop accepting this as the new normal. We need to start demanding that regulators look into these pricing practices, even though I feel that they may be somehow mixed and drenched into it all, if you know what I mean. Nevertheless, we need to start demanding something, because this is a serious problem. They know that we need this stuff, or else technology literally does not work anymore. The discrepancy between OEM mobile memory costs and consumer desktop laptop memory costs is staggering. Share this video, tag the manufacturers, tag the tech outlets. Let's make enough noise that maybe, just maybe, some regulator, honest ones, get curious. Frankly, if you look at the margins, you'd be justified in shorting their stock, because this kind of consumer exploitation is a bubble waiting to burst for real. Thanks for listening to the rant. Don't let them sell you mega transfers as megahertz also. And don't pay the scalper prices for silicon that costs pennies on a phone board. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.